Well. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Welcome
Wherever
to the
you are.
Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast News Edition. I'm your brother, franchise player, Double B Bad Blood, joined by the mixologist himself, Mr. Chemical Julian. And we're here to talk to you guys today about some pretty interesting stuff happening in the world of wrestling.
Oh, yes. Once again, another 7 days in the world of professional wrestling. So you know there's plenty of news to drop. And wow, you know what? We might as well just start at the top. Tony Khan made his big announcement. And at AEW Collision, which is going to premiere on
Saturday, June 17th.
We're going to have who?
CM Punk.
CM Punk. CM Punk is back with the organization officially in the official capacity. Allegedly, Ace Steel is going to be with him, working with creative. They have held off on this announcement for quite some time. Tony Khan, during the media scrum after All Out, I believe he was asked if CM Punk was going to be part of Collision, and he declined to comment. And there was supposed to be an announcement some weeks ago that got pulled. And any mention of CM Punk was just, kind of brushed under the rug, taken out of it. But it's been made official. Their Collision is going to debut at the United Center in Chicago. And pretty much I just got to say, so they don't cause a riot, CM Punk is going to show up.
So basically this is how the story breaks down, ladies and gentlemen. CM Punk is back. One true villain is, oh yeah, I have an announcement. Oh, shoot. It's not interesting. Okay. Claudio's here. Apparently One True Villain also has something to say. One True Villain, what is your announcement that you have to make? Please tell me you're not having a baby. I mean, if you are having a baby, then yeah, that would be news because men can't have babies. But while you're making your announcement, basically this is the way it goes down. At the upfronts a couple weeks ago, AEW was basically got a contract extension, so to speak. Not a new deal, but like a contract extension. It's worth like $2 billion. Like wait, what was it like $5 billion, something like that?
Yeah. So the announcement was that they're not getting a new deal. Collision's kind of getting lumped in with the existing deal. They'll get some extra money for it. But the end of the contract has not been extended. So kind of, sort of, if you want to say, Collision is going to have a pilot season. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But at the end of 2024, that's when the renewals will actually happen.
So a lot of things happened in this announcement. I mean, like they were in San Diego. And it was a very, very rough crowd. I mean, it was a mix of cheers, a mix of boos. A lot of people are happy CM Punk's back. A lot of people are like, fuck, he's coming back. But basically Punk had, there's a lot of difficulties going on with some people in the locker room. And it's it's no secret. It's the Bucks and Kenny. This is basically a soft brand split. If you look at the way the roster has been separated, you got Miro, you got Thunder Rosa, you got FTR. These are all people that didn't get along with the Bucks and or
correct.
And or what's her name? Britt Baker. So I mean, shout out to Claudio for 6 months in a row. My announcement is I have an announcement. Tony Khan over here. And Tony Khan was really tight-lipped about the whole thing because when it was announced at the upfronts, they didn't announce CM Punk's name, but like
Right.
Dave Meltzer had stated before, courtesy of Wrestling Observer, Dave Meltzer actually slipped and said that, yeah, the upfronts were presented. There was some information that was leaked out to them, and that's why they included CM Punk. They took a lot of the CM Punk stuff back, but one thing got through. So, it is what it is. So AEW Collision Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, which is 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's 5 p.m. on a Saturday night.
Not even 6:05.
Not even 6:05. That's crazy. So basically, this AEW's second major TV show behind its flagship show, Dynamite. I don't know why they didn't say Rampage was one of their flagship shows, but whatever. So like Taekwondo said, it is a small, soft brand split.
Okay, but let's be clear. AEW Dark and Dark Elevation are no more.
They're no more. And basically what's going to happen is the people that were working on Dark and Dark Elevation are going to start working on Rampage. That's kind of like NXT to SmackDown and Raw.
Yeah, but Rampage is only 1 hour show.
And that's the thing. You only like last night's Rampage, fucking shit. Last night's Rampage was great.
Well, so here's the thing. I'm not going to say that Rampage has been consistently great, but Rampage has consistently been a very good show. And the reason why it's been very good is because, one, it's a 1 hour show.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, within that 1 hour show, you get at least 3 quality matches. But taking everybody from Dark and Dark Elevation and putting them on a show that only has 3 matches, I mean, that's like putting 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag.
What do you mean the NWA?
So now we have Collision. And I guess maybe we'll get some spillover, some sharing of people from Rampage over to Collision. I mean, depends on who you want to align yourself with. And that's fine. But Rampage is not the flagship show. Dynamite's the flagship show. Rampage is the Friday show, which on its own is pretty good. I'll tell you this, it's better than WCW Thunder.
Wow. Okay. I don't even want to go back in time to that horrible period of time.
It's better than Thunder. It's on par with Impact. I mean, Impact is just a whole different animal and kind of its own flavor. So I really have a hard time comparing the two. Mm-hmm. But it has its merits. And once again, being a 1 hour show, you want to tune in, watch an hour. Okay, good. And move on. The one good thing they don't do is they do a sprinkle of highlights from Dynamite. Mostly what you get is promotion for the next upcoming Dynamite. But then again, Dynamite does promotion for the following Rampage. So it's not too crowded. It's not too saying it's not too overbooked to be kind of disingenuous, but whatever, matches are matches.
But see, the way, and that's the way it should go when you have shows like this. Like when you watch a Raw or you watch a SmackDown, the way Raw is set up, you don't even have to watch SmackDown because 90% of the recaps are from SmackDown. Then when you get to SmackDown, 90% of the recaps are from fucking Raw. So it's like, me and the mom were talking, and she said, "Hey, maybe you guys are doing too many shows." I said, "What do you mean? You guys have your Monday Night Raw show, you have your Wednesday night AEW Dynamite show, and you have your combined show on Friday." And I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "But if you're thinking about your combined show being SmackDown and Rampage, aren't they just giving you the same news from Raw and Dynamite?"
You know what? Yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
You get, it's kind of like WWE Live, and I know a lot of you have not watched WWE Live. It is live, right? Or Live Wire?
Not a clue. The Bump? I don't know.
No, not the Bump.
I know what you mean. After Raw show or whatever it is.
That's sad. That it's a midweek show. That's like, or maybe Saturday show, the new Saturday morning show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's where we saw Veer versus shit.
God.
Like Veer versus Madcap Moss. Like you get some like just crazy ass matches on
Hey,
there.
breaking news. Breaking news. Shout out to Madcap Moss
Congratulations
on his engagement to Emma, or whatever her name is.
Engagement.
Whatever her name is this week. But shout out to them for getting engaged. Okay, continue.
Madcap put some stank on it.
Madcap was like, I'm gonna be Madcap in bed. See?
Madcap.
So the whole AEW thing, you got Omega, who basically downplayed any animosity. And he kind of joked about the situation between CM Punk and Ace Steel and the Elite. He said sometimes you got to take a bite out of crime. It was a joke, but it was funny. It was like that's pretty much what it was. But with this whole brand split, you got Paige, you got Kenny Omega, and you got the Bucks. They're going to be on Dynamite, and then you got Ace Steel, who's working remotely, not even in the building, working on creative with, above all people, Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
So you got Bryan Danielson, you got CM Punk, you got Ace Steel, 2 of the 3 best minds in wrestling. And I say 2 of the 3 best minds. You can choose who you want to choose. It should be pretty good. It should be really, really good. And with the talent, you got Miro finally finding something to do. Like, creative is like, shit, let's bring back a Miro. You got Samoa Joe over there. You got the international champion, who I think, honestly, that international championship should be the title on this show.
Correct.
Like, like Raw has the Raw World Heavyweight Championship. SmackDown has the championship.
And Dynamite has the TNT.
Yeah. So you put the TBS title on this you put the TBS champion on this show with CM Punk, and then you put the TNT title on Dynamite. There you go.
Yep.
Now you just got tag team champions. You can be you want to be smart about it. Take the trios titles and put the trios titles on Dynamite. Take the world tag team belts and put them over here. On this show. And you're gonna have guys bleeding over, of course. Guys are gonna come from Dynamite to Collision to Dynamite. But the Bucks can stay on Dynamite. Hell, they can go to fucking Rampage.
Well, actually, I mean, whoever's got your trios titles or your tag team titles can travel between
both brands.
Collision and Rampage.
I don't want to say both brands. It sounds stupid. I mean,
and Taekwon Mills, you are right. Madcap does eat ass, and if that's the ass he's eating, good for you, Madcap. Good for you.
Yum yum yum. So with this brand split, with CM Punk's faction versus the Bucks faction, let's call it that. Let's call it CM Collision. Okay. Let's call it CM Punk show, Elite show. Okay. There's some people that are currently on the indie scene that I think will be really great for these shows.
No.
Listen, hear me out. No. One, Hollow Wicket from Ring of Honor. He was also part of Chikara. He's a Young Lions Cup champion. It'd be great for him to be there. You know what I'm saying? Luann Luck, she's been on Rampage. She's been on Dynamite. She's really good. She's a good person to be on one of these shows. The Sunshine Machine, Chuck Mambo and TK Cooper, those guys would be great. They're from Progress. They're from Revolution Pro. These guys are like one of the top tag teams in the UK. They'd be great for that. Janaya Kai, man, we had her as a guest on the podcast. She is fucking phenomenal. She's done some matches over there. She's one of Thunder Rosa's students. So to have Janaya Kai on the show, when Thunder Rosa, she challenged Jay Cargill once for the TBS championship during the thing. So the Kick Demon would be great. She's been on Dark. She's been on Dark Elevation. Okay. She'd be a special added bonus to this. There's a tag team, Matt Fitchett and Davey Vega. They're called the Besties in the World. Okay. They've
Besties in the world.
They're part of Black Label Pro. They're part of Evolve. They're part of AEW down there. These guys are fucking a great tag team. Be great to have those guys in there. And our favorite, Max the Impaler.
Max the Impaler.
You know, Sarah Logan might get pissed off, but Max the Impaler, she's already had matches at Ring of Honor. AEW has put her together with fucking some of the weirdos, in AEW. The Living Dead girl would do good here. Her and yep. You could put the Hex too. Allison Kay and fucking Marty Bell, former NWA Women's Tag Team Champions. You have quality. Now you're building quality women for a quality show. And Willow Nightingale's gonna be defending that New Japan.
She's gonna be putting in some work, baby.
New Japan Strong Women's Championship. So there you go. Jervis Cottonbelly from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Jervis Cottonbelly.
He is so fucking funny to me. He calls him the Gentleman Jervis. Dude has been around for a long time. Most notably in Chikara. That racist ass name. Max the Penetrator. Wow. So many people, man. I mean, like, you got Matt Cross, MD, Mad Dog. Man, that guy's been around fucking everywhere. Ring of Honor, fucking CCW. Dude, man, the guys, Lucha Underground. Fuck, man. That would be great for him to be there. Delilah Doom. Also, she's been around for a while. Her, Kylie Ray, they were like a great tag team. They were almost like they're like the original Damage Control, so to speak.
Gotcha.
Delilah Doom, she's really good. She's wrestled Roxanne Perez, Shotzi Blackheart, Rosemary. She's appeared in Impact Wrestling and WWE TV, so she has she's pretty good. C4, right?
Yes.
Yeah, C4 would be good too. Cody and Guillermo, those guys would be fucking good. I mean, imagine those guys with Acclaim, with Top Flight, fucking the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? Private Party, Lucha Bros, Best Friends. They've had matches with all those guys and had astonishingly good matches. So, I mean, shit. AEW, you can get fucking Brian Keith. Brian Keith is an indie guy. He's part of Booker T's Reality of Wrestling.
Correct.
He's been at GCW. He's been at Freelance. He's been at Limitless. He's all through Texas. So that's another guy. See, this is building a roster of people. They say AEW doesn't. AEW needs to build young stars. These are young stars that AEW can cope with. It is a dope ass roster, right? These are people that AEW can cultivate and build up to be like the superstars of tomorrow. Give them TV exposure. Make Collision its own fucking show.
Make it its own property. Make it its own. I don't want to say make it its own brand. I mean, they're all going to be AEW, but give them their own shit to work with.
Give them their own personality. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And with these young talents, there's a way to be like, shit, CM Punk can mold all these guys to be fucking amazing.
Correct.
So what are your thoughts on that?
So here's one thing. The reason why I said no initially is because AEW's roster is currently so bloated that they don't have enough time for the people that they got to be on TV on a consistent basis. And I mean, that's why you had Dark Elevation and Dark and Rampage and the YouTube stuff and Dynamite. With some of their characters, with some of their properties, they need to shit or get off the pot. And I know that AEW has these open contracts where people can go work the indies and still work for them. But you've either got to give them their exposure or not give it to them, like, fish or cut bait. And before you start bringing in a bunch of other people, because if you see somebody with a bloated roster and they're still looking to hire, your first question's got to be like, well, how much TV time am I going to get? True. You've got the Elite, you've got all of your champions, you've got the BCC, you've got your Soraya and her crew, you've got Britt Baker, Chris Statlander, the usual women's wrestlers, you've got the Dark Order, you've got Butcher and the Blade. I mean, there's a lot of people that and not to mention MJF and Darby Allin and that guy and
Oh, you mean your favorite guy, Jungle Boy?
yeah, that guy
Jack Perry.
and who am I forgetting? The other pillar. Oh, Sammy Guevara.
Oh, jeez.
And the Jericho Appreciation Society. I mean,
Christian Luchasaurus.
There's all these people. Wardlow,
House of Black,
Powerhouse Hobbs, Swerve, and the Swerve Embassy, whatever the fuck they're called. I mean, there's so many talents currently taking up TV time. You really got to figure out where am I going to fit in? And we know Rampage is a 1 hour show.
Mm-hmm.
Collision's going to be what? 1 hour, 2 hours?
2 hours.
Okay, so you get another 2 hour show. Dark and Dark Elevation are gone. So anybody who was there is going to have to spill over into the other properties, including Collision. So,
boy, throwback.
So throwback. So, I mean, you just got to, get in where you fit in, I guess. But at the same time, you got to wonder if you can fit in.
Well, I totally get what you're saying. I totally understand the whole point of what this is all about. I think that even with the bloated roster, you have 3 television shows.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing and a bad thing because, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, that's our 3 TV shows.
Yeah.
Now we got Wednesday night Dynamite, we got Friday night Rampage, and then we turn right back around on Saturday and have Saturday Night Collision. Now that's 3 different shows. They're not going to be taped the same night, which is great. Collision is going to be on their Collision is going to be on their own little fucking pathway. You know what I mean? Like they've already got I believe 7 or 8 venues already booked for their Collision show, which is great. And Dynamite of course has their normal bookings for Dynamite,
right? But
Rampage is usually taped with Dynamite. I mean, and we're not even thinking about this. There's a 4th show with Ring of Honor.
That's a whole other discussion because Ring of Honor. AEW briefly mentioned that Ring of Honor has upcoming Death or Dishonor.
Yeah.
Or what's the Ring of Honor show coming up?
Yeah, Death or Dishonor.
Yeah, they mentioned it in passing. In fact, they probably didn't even mention it as much as I just did.
I didn't even know there was a show. I mean, oh shit!
Yeah, they put up a graphic, and that was it. They didn't hype it. They didn't talk about it. And here's the thing: you own Ring of Honor. You would think that you would hype that show as much as you do All Out, All In, or any of these other shows, but they didn't. And what are you going to tell people just to get on Fight TV? Is it going to be on YouTube? I can tell you nothing besides that. When I was watching Rampage, I saw a blurb pop up about Death or Dishonor coming up.
I mean, Shibata came out. Shibata defended the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, and then out of nowhere, here comes Danny Garcia. Yep. So you're like, okay, here comes Garcia. And then they're like, oh, this could be a match for Death Before Dishonor. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck? When is that?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So there's that. And on the flip side of it, you have WWE, who there's rumors of upcoming talent roster cuts.
Yeah. They just hired some people, so how they're going to be roster cutting people.
Yeah. And we were happy when they hired people because we now didn't have to see the same people 3 times on our show.
Yeah.
So, so that'd be that.
So yeah, let's go to the next news. Yeah, it's going to be a hot summer.
It's going to be a hot summer. In other news, we were talking about this earlier. Robert Roode is undergoing his 2nd neck fusion surgery, and is going to be out of wrestling for a while more. I'm not going to say here. I'm not going to sit here and be like, "Oh, he's done. He's out indefinitely." But I mean, that's a pretty big hump to overcome. Speedy recovery to him. Wish him all the best. Hope he heals up well. I was really trying to figure out if there's a particular incident that took place that led to his neck getting injured or him requiring surgery. But from what I can find out, it looks like he's just had nagging injuries stacking up over time, and he finally just had to bite the bullet and go in there and get the work done.
Yeah, I mean, man. Yeah.
So the funny thing is this: earlier this week, I was doing a little bit of research into stem cell therapy, and I ran across this organization, and I requested some information. They're doing stem cell surgery down in TJ, down in Mexico. You've got to commit to go in for 5 treatments, 5 days consecutively, for the low price. Hey, Bad Blood, you lived in California before. You've been not too far from the border. If you were going down to Mexico for stem cell surgery, or stem cell therapy, 5 days worth of treatments, how much you think it would be?
How about 1,000 American dollars? 2,000
Keep going.
5.
I mean, really keep going.
17,000 American dollars.
And that's the starting price.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Between 17,000 and 26,000.
What in the actual?
And I was
now is that American dollars? Because
that's
17,000 pesos. I got $170 in my pocket.
Dollars. And I said, but this is taking place in Mexico.
Yeah.
And she said, well, that's how we're able to keep the price so low.
Wow. I mean, look, Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks has stem cell surgery for his arm. So, I mean,
I was like, y'all taking insurance? She goes, yeah, not across the border.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, my bad knees, I can use some stem cell.
Now, if you're Edge, I mean, you made your treatment money back just by putting your boots on. Not even talking about the paycheck you got. But, for regular folks, yeah, no.
Wow. Man.
So, Bobby Roode, if you can go get the stem cell therapy, get back in the ring, you make your money back, you'd be good to go.
Bobby Roode can be this, like you said, Edge is a great super example of the neck fusion. Yeah, okay. So that Edge is a great example of going through neck fusion surgery and getting your dreams back. Yo, Edge is an anomaly.
Edge also did the stem cell therapy. Mm-hmm. That's what actually got him over the hump of being able to get back in the ring and being able to train and and do that big comeback he did at the Rumble. And so I think there's a number of wrestlers who have talked about doing stem cell therapy. And that's what they've, especially anybody with neck issues, that's what they've been, that's the treatment that they've been going to after they go see Dr. I forget his name, down in Alabama.
Jim Andrews.
No, so,
he's in Georgia.
It's probably not covered insurance, but hell, if WWE can spend $30,000 to get your neck straightened out, believe you me, they're going to make a whole lot more money on that investment by getting you back in the ring.
So let's talk about something that has been dominating the news for the last 24 hours. The new WWE Undisputed Universal Championship belt. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, let's stop using the fucking word undisputed, because if you have a world heavyweight champion,
correct,
you can't have a undisputed champion, because guess what? Therein lies the dispute.
Correct.
WWE booked themselves into a corner. They figured we'll get rid of one of the belts. Well, instead of having Roman relinquish the WWE championship, or even better, get pinned and lose it.
Correct.
They're like, Roman's gonna be champion until 2024, and he's going to beat all these records. Next up is Pedro Morales.
Yep.
After Pedro Morales is Hulk Hogan. After Hulk Hogan, I believe was So it was Pedro Morales, Hulk Hogan, and then Bruno Sammartino. Those are the last 3 people that he has to beat. So if he holds the championship until WrestleMania of next year, he will beat Bruno Sammartino's record and become the longest reigning champion in the history, in all of WWE history. Now, that's great.
I don't know if he's going to go that far.
I mean, the way his thing is set up, yeah, he's going to go that far. But here's the thing that I'm trying to get across, ladies and gentlemen. The Undisputed Championship. Undisputed. That is a very much disputable title. They changed the belt. Well, they didn't change it. He has 3 championships now. The WWE Championship, the Universal Championship, and now the Undisputed Championship title. He's like Dan Severn in the 90s. Dan Severn was the ultimate champion, the NWA World Champion, the Super Fight Champion, fucking Cage, King of the Cage champion. He had all those fucking belts. Yeah, he was like Ultimo Dragon. What are your thoughts on celebrating 1,002 days with Roman Reigns?
So, Pedro Morales has 1,027 days. John Cena has 1,254 days with 13. He's had 1,254 days over a 13 reign period of time. Bob Backlund had the belt twice, and he's got 2,138. Hogan had the belt 6 times, and he had it for 2,188 days. Bruno Sammartino had 2 reigns and held the WWE Championship for 4,040 days.
That is a lot of fucking days.
All right. If they plan on beating Bruno's record, y'all think you hate Roman now? You ain't begun to hate him until it's 4,000 days. Even if I could see how WWE would want to push him past Hogan's record. But that means that your championship has to be attached to a part-timer, essentially, for another 1,000 days. That's 3 more years. I don't know. If push comes to shove, I don't know if they make him start keeping a more active schedule. I don't know what storylines would support this. He'd have to find a lot of new challengers for this title to go another 1,000 and something days and to keep it interesting, besides just keeping a title on someone. Just, like Shinsuke had his 6 months off. I mean, you're not going to have Roman just carrying around the belt for 6 months and not defending it. So he'll beat Cena. That I'm pretty sure of.
Pedro too.
Backlund, I don't know if he'll beat Backlund, but if he beats Backlund, he might as well beat Hogan because they're only like 30 days apart.
Man, there's so much riding on Roman no longer being champion.
Correct.
And then they put this World Heavyweight Championship in the mix, and it's just like, okay.
So here's the thing. All right, so Roman's been carrying around 2 belts. You've got the WWE Championship, you got the Universal Championship. I personally the Universal Championship is something they made up recently for the last few years. It got made up for Raw, so that, and the first crowned winner was Prince Devitt. And he broke his arm and immediately had to give it up. It was given to Kevin Owens, and it was given to Seth Rollins at some point. Braun Strowman had it. The Fiend had it. Goldberg had it. And Roman Reigns took it from Goldberg, I believe. No, took it from Brock. And so it's the less prestigious of the two.
Lesser of two evils.
I mean, I would call it. I would prefer they call it the WWE Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship, if they got to use the term undisputed, or call it unified, WWE Unified Heavyweight Championship. Hey, and people are like, oh, you can't change the name. And WWE changes the name of shit all the times. So
twice over.
The belt changes, whatever. So call it the WWE. And here's the thing: they wouldn't make an announcement. They would just call it something different on a show, make no mention of it, and then that's what people would just start calling it. So you have the WWE Unified Heavyweight Championship, and and it's got the lineage that goes all the way back to Bruno Sammartino and and all those guys. And he's carrying around one title instead of the Universal shit. Here's the thing. They go to unveil this title, and everyone's waiting for, oh man, what's the new title going to look like? Oh, we love seeing a new title. Oh boy, I bet it's going to be dope. It's going to have layers. It's going to look like this. It's going to look like, maybe it'll have like the Brahma Bull belt had like a Brahma Bull on it. The Stone Cold Smoking belt had like the Smoking Skull on it. The Dead Man belt had like the two Taker nails crossed on it. Triple H unveils this thing. It's the same goddamn belt that he's got now, except for it's got gold glitter in the middle. Like, they didn't even go downtown LA and go to the nugget shop and get like some good nugget gold put on there. This is some gold glitter shit. And I was like, it's the same goddamn belt.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the Women's Championship. It looks like the Universal Championship. It looks like the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Sorry, the WWE Heavyweight Championship. It looks like the SmackDown Women's Championship. It looked like the Cruiserweight Championship looked a little bit different. But it's the same big W in the middle, different color in the background. And, it looks like you could just, pretty soon you'll be able to go on WWF Shop Zone, and you can pick a belt and put whatever color you want to on there. Maybe you can put a pride flag behind it. Maybe you can put like a black fist behind it. Whatever. But it's the same goddamn belt with just gold glitter on the background. So I was like, and Roman was parading it around like, yeah. Come on, man. Come on. They could have called it the World Samoan Championship. They could have had a tribe on it. They could have had like the Isle of Samoa on there. Something. No, they didn't. It was gold glitter. So, seeing as how it's the same old belt, I like his championships. The big W and whatnot, that's cool. That's fine. I got no problem with it. But the idea that we're unveiling a new belt and it looks the same as the other ones, whatever. You can buy it on Shop Zone now and it'll ship by September 31st. But unless you're just a serious belt collector, I don't know what they'll sell more of Seth Rollins' belts than they will this one, because Seth's belt actually looks different. Like, it looks like a different title. If I could purchase one, I would actually like to get like the old school IWGP title, but those are like hella expensive. And the AEW championship is like $900.
Well, on to the other topics of the day. What do you have going today?
You what?
What do you have to talk about after that?
That's all I got.
Yeah, shit. The design of the belt is just a replica of all the other WWE championships. Yeah.
One last thing. Yeah, sure. Braun Strowman out with a neck injury.
I was going to just talk about that right now. That neck injury happened during the match. Goddamn. Backlash. No, the match right before WrestleMania. It was a tag team match. The last time him and Ricochet were together is when he got hurt.
Okay.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here on this edition of the news, brought to you by Roundtable Person Podcast and PWM.news. We will see you guys on Monday with more AEW, WWE, and all other people's information. So make sure to like, subscribe. It's going to be a fun month. Peace.